probably my favourite free song. There's a lot going on this track. It's a lot more busy than some of their earlier stuff. There's a lot of organs going on and a lot of overdubs going on. So I'm going to go through the riffs and the chords for the song. So our riff starts like this. And you're just running down the E minor pentatonic scale. And it starts here on the 7th of the A string down to the 5th. And then the same here on the E string, 7th to the 5th. And now you're playing just on the E string, and that's from the 7th to the 5th to the 3rd, and then the E open. So you've got this. Okay, so they're the notes you need for that part, but on the recording there's an organ playing, there's overdubs of guitars, the bass player's playing it, so there's a lot going on there to make that sound. So just playing down the notes will sound a bit boring and a bit dead, so try and make it a bit more interesting by doing some slides, hammer-ons, hammer-offs, and maybe a bit of a wobble on it as well. Just, try and make it a bit more interesting sounding, but they're the notes you need for that part. So we play that bit, and then we get these very two cool chords, and I'll play that bit now. Okay, so the first chord he's playing is a G chord, but rather than playing it like this, he's playing it here, and he's putting his thumb on the 3rd of the E string, playing the G here, and then he's playing the rest of the chord that way, because this allows then this G string to ring open. So you can play a G if you can't play that, but there you've got the 3rd of the E string, you've got the 5th of the A and the D, you're letting the G ring open, and then you're getting the 3rd here of the B string. And then he comes to this chord here. So for this chord now, he's playing an E chord, but he's playing the E open, he's playing the 7th here on the A, the 9th on the D and the G, and then you're letting the B and the E ring open and playing all the strings and getting an E chord that way. It's very cool. So for the next part, they're just using 3 chords. They're using an E power chord, a C power chord, and a D power chord. But they're not just playing them like that, especially when they come to this C and the D here, they're adding in the E string. So here for the C chord, they're adding in the 3rd on the E, so they're bringing in this G note, and then they come up here to the A note for this D. So what they're doing is they're playing this E power chord, and it's like a chug. And then they've got this. And they're just playing with their notes. Sometimes they'll start on the E string, or sometimes they'll start on the A string, and they're playing with them, and then back to this E. And with the E, every now and again they're lifting the finger off and letting it ring open, but it's very subtle, it's not like really obvious, it's like... And sometimes they will come up to the E chord here. So you've got the... And the thing you need to bear in mind with this part now, they're not letting the strings ring open, they're muting the strings, they're putting their hands on the strings here, and you've got this... So it's really important to get that part, to get that sound. They're keeping the hands on the strings all the time. Nice distortion, turn it up and it'll sound really great. So now we come to the part where you come out of that what we're just playing, and it all drops down in sound, and it's like this. So for this part now, you're coming out of this. And you come into an A minor, and if you're playing with the band or whatever you're doing, the sound really drops down now. And then you come here to an F chord, up to a G chord, and then to this A minor. So we come out of that part now, and it's really building up, and you're coming towards the end, and it changes key from the E, we're going to an A minor. So we've got this that you've just played, from the F to the G to the A minor, and then we come to a C. So for this now, you start on the C, so that's a C power chord up to the D power chord, then you come to an F7, to a G, and then to the A. And this F7, I'm barring here on the 8th fret, and I'm adding in here the 10th of the D and the B string. So you're playing this a C chord, up to the D chord, an F7, a G chord, and the A chord. Okay, so the very last bit of the song now, we're playing here, we're playing an F chord, coming to a G chord, and then up to the A chord. And you actually play out again with the riff that we started that. But now we've dropped it down one string, so because we're playing in A minor, so now you're playing on the D and the A string, and you start on the D string from the 7th to the 5th, from the A to 7th to the 5th, and then you're running down the A from the 7th to the 5th to the 3rd, and then open. And again, try and put some hammer-ons, pull-offs on.